What is projection? Projection is a misalignment between the mental and the inner and the external world. It's a misalignment. So if you think of projection as a form of observation, a corrupted form of observation, and the opposite of that would be, I guess, a non-corrupt, unbiased, neutral, its ability to objectively observe. So you have two. You have the corrupt form of observation, projection, and just pure observation. And so we're just going to shift over to talk about the corrupted form of observation, projection. And your next question might be wondering what makes projection corrupt. Well, it's a misjudgment of why someone else would do the thing they are doing. Actually, wait, I'll use a personal example when I was a kid growing up. So I knew this woman, and she was married to a husband, and they had a past. He was in the military, and when he went off to the military, he would, constantly cheat on her. And when he was younger, and he eventually would come home, get drunk, basically belittle her, leave, go off to, military for, months on end, and then cheat on her again. But she was aware of all this. He would tell her. He didn't really care. I mean, let's be real, he's kind of an asshole here. You know what I'm saying? And so when I was younger, right, now fast forward, his life is like, he's like probably, I don't know, 70. And he's a pretty nice dude at this point, right? I like him. And so his wife heard about me dating this girl. And then, I was like, 13 at the time. I dated this girl. And then I was like, you know what? Her cousin's calling me too. So I started dating her cousin too. I was young, I was having a little fun, you know what I'm saying? And so I was dating both of them at the same time, and I'm like 13, just having fun, right? When I say dating, I mean we just kind of like held hands in the hallway, and every now and then we made out, you know what I'm saying? It didn't go like any further than that. And so every time she saw me, she saw how confident I was and how I looked. She heard about my escapades with other girls my age, right? And so she said that, look at him, he's just a little player. Now fast forward, I got married, right? I don't do any of that stuff. I don't, I never would even consider cheating on my wife. That's just not me. You know what I mean? And so I overheard her talking, and she was basically saying, oh man, he's always been an asshole, and he's going to end up cheating on his wife. I guarantee you, give it 3 years tops. And then I opened the door, and I'm like, I heard everything you just said. And she's like, well, that's because you're an asshole. And this had to have been, oh my God. Jeez. 13 years ago, something like that. I've been married 16 years now. And, I've been with my wife since we were 16 years old. I'm 38, 39, something like that. So, yeah, we've been together for a minute. 20-something years, man. 20 years out, something like that. And we've never cheated on each other. You know what I'm saying? And so clearly what she said about me was a misalignment, a misjudgment. It was a corrupt version. It was a corrupt observation she had about me. And it was clearly, because I know her history, it was clearly an inherent fear she had, because it happened to her, that she painted onto other people who just were handsome people who were just good at talking to women. And yes, I'm talking about myself. But she clearly projected that onto me. And like I said, it's corrupt because you have the emotion behind it. It's unconscious. So you're most likely not aware of it. Actually, you're not aware of it if it's unconscious. And you believe it to be true. And that's what makes it dangerous. And that's what makes projection dangerous, because this is someone's point of view who really believes they're right. They can't see how corrupt their observation is. And because that view is corrupted, behind it is unconscious fears, anxiety. It's a fundamental emotion that has been compounded, reiterated. That's why it is so intense and so strong. And that's why these individuals who observe through this corrupted lens of observation can't see it, because it's intense. They strongly believe it. And that's another sign. And politics is extremely like that right now, where you have, if you really think about it, it's a limited view on reality. It's a limited view because you are unwavering in your opinion of that individual. And to have an unwavering opinion, which means you won't budge whatsoever, goes against nature. It should flow. It should be more malleable, your idea of someone else, because you should leave. Think about it. If projection is a limited view of someone's perspective, then to a certain extent, everyone has projections, because nobody can have someone else's perspective in its entirety. Everyone's observation and analysis is corrupt to a certain extent. Some are more objective than others, and because they're more objective, they have a less corrupted analysis, thus projecting less than, say, somebody who is less objective, and they're extremely, they lack experience, like children. That's why adults can look at children and say, he's projecting clearly, like, look at his dad. His dad's mean to him, and now he's mean to other kids in school. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff. Sexual abuse is another one. Any type of traumatic event, you can see it when you talk to kids or you interact with kids, or when your kids come home and explain to you what other kids have done. And if you know the history of, say, their parents, and you're like, that makes sense, So yeah, it's a corrupted view on your observation. And this was a tough one for me to really think about because I'm like, wait, isn't everything projection? And then I'm like, nope, not everything is projection, because if you're aware of something and you're conscious of it, and you're conscious of the fact that, yeah, you might have these certain ideas of this person because you went through this and you're cautious of it, that's not unconscious. So it's a more it's a more enlightened view of someone else's perspective. So not everything is projection because of that. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on the topic. There's probably going to be more ideas I could probably elaborate on in terms of that. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys think I could have said more, or you want me to elaborate on other topics, or if you think I messed up somewhere. I don't know. I don't know everything, man. And please enlighten me on your perspective on what I said. All right, guys. Hey, take it easy. Peace.